All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Cyrus who said he kicked back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Cyrus Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. The link for the memberships is right down in the video description, is in the chat. All you have to do is just click it. You get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got another website up on Teachable, dynamic website, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by the General, strictly for the brothers. You can get a preview of that curriculum. All you have to do is click the link right down in the chat. Also included the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable, where the brothers sit down every week discussing very powerful, vital, important information pertinent to our growth and development. Get on over there, preview the course, become a brother, become a member today. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Cyrus Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for you, family. I know you're going to like and love. Get over there, check out that catalog, get a discount, shop and save, save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love, from the General, Omeka, Voyages of the Nile, when Egypt ruled the earth, Nubia, mother of ancient Egypt. We got Black Babylon. We got From Naga to Nigga, African origins of the Hindu Kush. We got gas, global African supremacy, black power, economics, education. We got that for you. We got the false teachings of the Medu Netta. We got military, geography, cosmology, black woman is God making it a white man, and so many, many more subjects. Get on over there, family. We working on it, but by tomorrow it'll be black up, so don't worry. Get over there. It's just power. It's just boom so much. It cannot be duplicated by no other website. To the family out there, yeah, you know, General said he got the popping his page on Patreon by far. Ain't even coming close. We got over 500 exclusive live streams, the latest and the greatest, live streams from the General. Everything is live. There's no rehashed information. And so if you're looking for that exclusive, get over to the Patreon link right there at the top of the chat, pin to the chat, click it, and become a patron today. All the family that donated to the General, I thank you. Those would like to donate, link right there in the chat. You know I appreciate you. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages, King Seti, General Seti, Cyrus Seti, Black Power Cartel. Get a video, a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share it with your family and friends, and comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Getting warmed back up into my Naga studies. You understand? Into my Naga studies. And I'm the grand master of grandmasters by far. You see, and can prove it beyond any reasonable doubt. You see, and what we're going to be discussing today, the dragon bloodline of ancient Egypt. People say, well, what is Seti talking about? I'm talking the truth to you. You see, I'm talking the straight truth to you. What is the dragon? See, you got to understand what the dragon is. And when you understand what the dragon is, you'll understand exactly what I'm telling you. Okay? So, you know, a lot of it is esoterical, and when we get to the gene, I just run it down to you. You see? When we talk about the gene and the helix, we just got into that, right? Did we get off into that? We did. We got off into the gene. But I got a few visuals so to help you, you know, to understand that, you know, what we trying to discuss today. But when you talk about the gene, or you talking, and as family put out their genetics, Genesis, We talking about the genesis of a thing, the origin of all creation. Okay, in ancient Egypt, it was the winged serpent. Okay, let me get something up in here. Let me get something up in here. Mm, okay, okay, okay. And so you see right here, you see our family. This is ancient symbolisms right here, where we are showing ourselves as as a naga. You see a naga with wings, and so when you think of a thing, most things in creation, it has a cosmological icon. It has a zoomorphic icon, you know, a totem, you see, that's attached to it. When you think of Osiris, his cosmological totem is Orion. The constellation of Orion is sacred to Osiris, you see. And so, and it also has a zoomorphic symbolism, and I believe what was one of he was also depicted as a naga. So the serpent was also a symbol of Osiris, because it is a symbol of resurrection, because the serpent sheds its skin, and in shedding its skin, it becomes anew. It resurrects. It transforms into a new being, as we shed old ideas and we become anew, we metamorphosize our mind in truth. You see what I'm saying? And so we're showing here that long before any Naga of India, we are already depicting the serpentine attributes, of the king of our own spirit, because we want to resurrect. We want to become anew. You see? And again, it's also a symbol of immortality, of never dying. You see, as one life ends, another life begins. You see? And so it is a symbol of immortality. And when you think about the serpent, the coil, and it's so much that they don't tell you that it is attached to the serpent. But these are our own divine attributes. I'm talking about Africans. I'm talking about activated Africans. I'm not talking about some of these niggas is deactivated and will never be activated. You see? So I don't just say, some have the potential, some don't have the potential. That's just like when people talk about the mystery system. Ancient Egypt. Everybody in ancient Egypt couldn't read the hieroglyphs. Shit, even then they couldn't read them. If you hadn't been initiated, it wasn't for you to know. And so that just that. That just that. So this, and so to even today, a lot of people today don't know and won't know, and they use all type of symbolisms as I look out here, and they create all type of symbolism that they cannot back up. A lot of it is plagiarized information from some foreign system. A lot of people use Gnosticism. Gnosticism, and I can tell you straight up, is diluted. It has some things, a few things that keep it afloat. But when you get off into it, you'll see that it has plagiarized and it has added on. Because number one, if you're a Cro-Magnon Neanderthal, there's no way for you to see the primordial mystery system as those of us who are born primordial. When I say primordial, that means we came with the package. We didn't come out of nothing else. And we've all, especially when we dealing with the ancient civilizations of Africa, we are the primordial people that established those civilizations. Anything on the outside of Africa, I just got to say what it is. It is a diluted form of the ancient mystery system. They do not possess every and all the things that we find in the Nile Valley. Just don't do it. If you wanna prove me wrong, just prove me wrong. You see what I'm saying? You can go and you can see these things on the wall. Show me your wall. Same time, 3000 B. You ain't got no walls at 3000 BC. Then there's no need for me to discuss it no more. You see, we ain't no need for me to discuss it no more. And so when we talk about the Naga, the first instance of a Naga that we show, which is now this is another difference that you find from the Hindu Naga, which that don't mean that the primordial Kushites, Naga Kushites that were there before they got there, because obviously they didn't diluted it. You see, in the Hindu mythology, the Naga is a semi-divine. So they're not full deities. But in Egypt, in Egypt, they are full deities. You see, that just show you they don't possess all the things that are necessary. You see what I'm saying? To activate that primordial connection between the cosmos and the African, the primordial activated African. They don't have all. That's why they don't show the serpent there. Nobody else showed the serpent but the Africans on the pineal gland. And this is where they get the Kundalini from. You see what I'm saying? But they don't show it in no manifestation like that. You know, they don't show it in no manifestation like it's a plagiarized form, and I got to say that. They speak like they the ones that invented it, but it's not true. Okay, it's not true. The Jed pillar, which is the spine of Osiris, is where they get the Kundalini from, period. Okay, you could go and you could see Tahuti in the temple of Abydos with the lotus stab with the serpents on it. This is where you get the brazen serpent of Moses, the caduceus of the goddamn the Greeks. You see, all of this is plagiarized. And so we had to speak on this. Why is we doing that? Because we got to establish ourselves as first and foremost. You see, as they are trying to do. But they can't do it. They don't never bring. I wonder why I don't never hear none of them come and say nothing. You understand? To say anything otherwise. I sit here and I watch, I watch all these goddamn videos on YouTube where they be talking about, this consciousness and all this consciousness. They talk about the pineal gland, but they never say and they only say this is the seat of consciousness, but you never hear them say nothing about melanin. None of them. You know why? Because they ain't got none. They ain't activated. So that's when it dilute. They they overly try to explain some shit that don't matter. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at the root of all it is, when you talk about the soul, you talking about the Solomon or Solomon. You see, male, melanin, male Chizedek. So it is about melanin. It's about the solar melanin divinity. So they never can explain it on that level. That's why they always over explain some shit that don't matter. The pineal gland, the consciousness. Yeah, but what is you talking about the conductor of cosmic energy inside of the body. What is you saying? Consciousness. Yeah, but what is it? What is the conductor of consciousness in the body? Is melanin. It's goddamn melanin. That's what it is. It's the conductor of all information inside of the body. It's just like a damn floppy disk. You understand, where you write information is, and when you look at anything in goddamn creation, you will see that it's true. When you talking about recording information, look at it. A goddamn from an 8-track tape to a goddamn a cassette. That the old school, the goddamn record was melanin. You see what I'm saying? Anything that was recorded, you recorded any type of information on floppy disks when they first started, it was melanin. You see what I'm saying? They was black. Anything to record, so they understand, the basis of this divine consciousness, that, and how it is, how it is shared throughout the body and throughout our people collectively. They understand this. But when they get ready to explain this shit on these videos, they never talk about melanin. They don't even mention what the hell the pineal gland produce. You see, they don't even talk about it because they don't produce enough of it. And they know that. And that's why they created the vampire. We didn't create that. See, so a man think of in his heart, so a man and a woman think of in their heart and mind, so is he or she. What a man or a woman think of in their heart and mind, they speak out of their mouth. They create stories and shit. You understand? Of their own consciousness. They created the vampire. Niggas try to clean them up. That's why I use it. It's a revealing situation. They themselves know that they don't possess that. You see? So they can't get that. They can't get it through the sun. They can't get it. But what they can do is try to get it through the blood. That's what they try to do. That's why they fuck with the blood. When you watch that movie, they call it Underworld. And they call it Blood Wars. You see what I'm saying? And you watch them motherfuckers. You watch them vampires on that video, that movie, and when they drink the blood of a motherfucker, the consciousness of that person who blood they drink, the vampire can see a motherfucker's history. I remember that I seen that one, he was like a chief vampire, and they was going to war. They had 3 elder vampires. You see what I'm saying? They had 3 elder, and 2 would be sleep while 1 would be in charge. So they would come up like every 500 years. You see what I'm saying? And the other 2 would go to sleep, and they'll rest until it's time for them to come up. So some shit had went down where the Lycans, which are werewolves, they started attacking the vampires, taking their ass out. So they leader got took out. The one that was, she got took. I think it was a woman vampire. She was in charge. She got took out. So they was in disarray, and the motherfucker had to go and they had to bring up one of the other elder vampires, and the motherfucker came up, right, and he was fucked up. He hadn't been drinking blood, so he was a dried up looking ass vampire. It's a process when they get ready to bring them up. They don't just bring them up. They get blood and shit and they hook it up to their ass, and they give them like a week and shit where they just pump it into their body so they can get stronger and stronger. So when they brought the motherfucker up, you know what I'm saying? He looked at them motherfuckers and was like, why the fuck did y'all raise me? It ain't my time. You know what I'm saying? And he had to tell them, they didn't took out, I think her name was Elmina, had taken her out and shit, and this, that, and the third. But the elder vampire knew that they wasn't telling the whole fucking truth. You see what I'm saying? So he just kept getting blood fed into him so he could get stronger. And when he got his full strength, his captain, who had been concealing shit from him, you know what I'm saying? He said, come here, bring your ass here. And he bit down on his ass, right? And all the motherfucker memories and shit for damn near, you know what I'm saying, for up to 100 years was flashing through his motherfucking mind and shit. So he could see everything that this motherfucker did for 100 years. He could see it by drinking his blood. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it's about. Why you think so many of our peoples are dying? Why do you think they keep so many of our people down at the goddamn hospital? Why you think these motherfuckers ain't drinking blood? You think these motherfuckers ain't drinking melanin? This is the elixir. You understand what I'm saying? They harvesting niggas. You don't want to believe it because you too caught up into, I don't know, this illusion. You caught up into this illusion. So we are the original. They can't, you can't, if you had to start, if some shit happened to this planet, you're going to have to start it over with the primordial. That's the only way. Because if you started off, if something happened where you ain't got, you done for. because we got all of the equipment to exist. You know what I'm saying? So even when the earth, say for instance, because the earth is moving through all, over 20, it's even longer than 25,000 years, because the sun is rotating, and the earth is rotating around the sun. So as we move, if you just round it off to 25,000 years, from my understanding, it's even longer than that. You see, you got to understand that our bodies is equipped because we done been through the cycle. People got to understand we done been through the cycle, the whole complete cycle of when the sun makes its complete revolution. We can exist throughout the whole cycle. Nobody else can exist without that. Ain't nobody else been through the whole cycle. Shit, the European only been out the cave for 2,000 years, 4,000. If you say a 0, 2,000, really 2,000, not even 4,000. I don't even know why I gave him that. You see what I'm saying? They start their history with Alexander the Great. So, but now when we start talking about, again, the dragon, people put it on Dracula and shit. He ain't the goddamn dragon. See, they flipped the script. This is what you call literary camouflage. You see what I'm saying? Where they intentionally disguise the information. They intentionally mislead people so that you don't know the truth. They intentionally do that, So, but when you deal with the dragon comes from the winged serpent of ancient Egypt, which was divine in origin. And most of the serpent deities in ancient Egypt were goddesses. The Wajet that sits on the pineal gland is a goddess. Okay. And you see that Isis also was one of the chief goddesses that were depicted as what we call a Naga. You see? And so when you look and understand that, and she's the mother goddess of our race, then you understand when we start talking about the dragon. Okay. And when you go to the east, the dragon that you see today look more like goddamn Godzilla or some goddamn body. But when you go to the when you go to the west, which west is Europe, but when you go to the east, it's more serpentine. You see, and you will always see the dragon, which you see depicted in the thumbnail. You see, he be holding like it's a little red orb, which is the sun. They done shrunk it. You see what I'm saying? That's a shroud to let you know. But that's what they call the dragon egg. The Naga pearl. This is solar divinity. Always connected around some type of jewels and shit. The jewel is knowledge. You see, the pearl, Jesus said, why would we cast our pearls before the swine? The pearls is wisdom and knowledge. You see, so this is esoterical lingo that they use to hide certain information sometimes. So when you say the dragon, when you look and you see a lot of people, and I brought this forward. I ain't got to tell nobody no goddamn lie. I did. You see, when you talk about the Nemesis crown, you see, which is nothing but the hood of the Egyptian cobra. You see, which is still a king cobra. You see, when the hood is flared, and you see the Nemesis crown is nothing but the flared hood of the cobra. That's what it is. So when you start talking about the Dragon King, people look to China and they think that's the first. No, was not the first Dragon King. You see, the Dragon Lord, the first Dragon Lord that we know of in documented history was the pharaohs of the Nile Valley, period. You see, was the pharaohs of the Nile Valley. And when you look, you see here, you see that the serpent, it always is a heavenly serpent coming down from heaven. You see the tail of that serpent is pointed upward. So that serpent is descending from heaven. You see also on the pharaoh, you see the symbol for infinity right behind the serpent. So it's a symbol of infinite wisdom and knowledge. When you activate it and you connect it to the solar frequency, and you know who you are, your solar black divinity, you're an infinite being. You see, you're an infinite being, and this is what we're talking. So when we talk about, let me put this here. You talk about the Genesis, you talk about the helix. And in the helix, you find not only you got the twin serpent, but you find Helios, the sun. These are serpent, what they call the seraphim, which are the fiery serpent, supposed to be the highest order of angels. You see the seraphim, the fiery serpent. Okay. This is, and so anytime you see in ancient Egypt, you will see the serpent, but you will see the sun disk above the head. That's the fiery serpent. That's the fiery serpent. Let me get down here, just show y'all one. Well, let me see right there. See right here, let me put that one up there. Let me take myself out of that one. I need to go all the way down. Yeah, so when you see right there, you see the dragon in the sun, and then you see the serpent, the Egyptian serpent with the sun orb above the head. That's the seraphim. That's the fiery serpent. That's the dragon. That's the damn dragon. That's where the dragon come from. So when you talking about the dragon bloodline, you talking about the dragon king, the dragon lord. And even in that shit, what they call it with the panda in there, the dragon warrior and shit and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the dragon can metamorphosize into any animal. You see, so the panda, the lion, that's why you get the demiurge, the tiger. You even got fish that are part of the dragon. You see, they call them dragon fish. And if you watch that movie Avatar, at the end of that movie, you will see that one of the dragon fish, and that is responsible for the balance of the universe. You got two fish, just like the yin and the yang. You see, just like the yin and the yang. So understand you the dragon, but you got to understand it's divine. Nowhere else it's divine. It's looked at. That's why when you talk about, you see what they call bookworms, which is a dragon, and you see that they always connected to libraries and books and scrolls. If you look up coil and you look up spiral, you will see that one of the synonyms for coil and one of the synonyms. What's up, family? Yeah, that's right. That's right. So when you look at every time I go into the damn chat, I goddamn lose my train of thought. I had to bring it up so I could see what's going on. But anyway, you see, again, going back to what, dragon, the dragon bloodline, that's the dragon is the fiery serpent of ancient Egypt. And it depicted, and another thing, when you see Aset, you'll see the egg, this what they call the egg of creation. When you go to the Orphic egg, Orpheus, one of the Christ of ancient Greece, you will see that the serpent is wrapped around the egg. And so when you go to Isis and you look at the symbols that is in the Medunata, the symbols in the name of Isis, you will see the egg is in her symbols that create her name. Where is that at? Let me see if I can bring it up right now. So that egg that you see, that's is the solar egg. Is the solar egg. I'll show you. It's not a problem. Let me show that before I get out of here. Let me show y'all right here. So you see right here, you see the Ouroboros. The first one, you see the Ouroboros, and that's the serpent with the which is with the tail in his mouth. But you see the sun also there. You see, and then the second one, you see the Wajet inside of the sun. So you see that you got three symbols there. You got a zoomorphic symbol, you got an anthropomorphic symbol, and you got a cosmic symbol. You got the sun, you got the Heru child, and you got the serpent. All of them are symbols of the other. The cosmic symbol, the cosmological symbol of the serpent is the sun. The cosmological symbol of the African race is the sun. That's our cosmological symbol. Okay, our zoomorphic symbol, one of our greatest zoomorphic symbols that identify us all over the planet is the serpent, which later in mythology became the dragon. And so it's showing now. So, when you look at this is where you get the dragon egg and you get this story. But this is an esoteric story, and people get caught up into. I mean, you got a whole lot of fables where they use animals and shit to bring forth truth. Aesop fables. You got Antsy the spider and all these things. They use zoomorphic symbols to relay truth and understanding. So, that's why we have to also, you got esoterical, you got exoterical. You got common knowledge and you got hidden knowledge. And a lot of times that's why you hear in the scriptures or the Bible what Jesus said, he teaches in parable because it ain't meant for everybody. Then that's a fact. It's not meant for everybody to know. And so for those that know, they went through they went through the training, the initiation to know that information. You got to want to know. Certain information need to be hid from motherfuckers because if they ain't gonna do nothing but desecrate it, they ain't gonna do shit but desecrate it. The last dragon, that's us. That's that dragon energy. Yeah, but as we move forward, I'm most definitely I'm just getting my scrolls out. And as we move forward, this is just this to get you. This to get to wet the pineal gland. You see what I'm saying? So we can dig deeper into this understanding. If it's ancient knowledge, and best believe once you grasp it, it will empower you. All right, family. I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all get over there to the Patreon. Click that link at the top. You feel me? We got some powerful, with a lot of visuals, and I only could put a few up there today. You feel me? But if you get over to the Patreon, I teach strictly from the lesson. I lead the crowd out on Patreon. You feel what I'm saying? So if you want raw information, you want uncut information, get on over there to Patreon. I appreciate y'all. Be black one more time before we get out of here, maybe. Let me see how I feel after I get out, because I'm on fire. Maybe I get up early tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. But anyway, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Make sure you subscribe right now. Don't get off here without subscribing. Go over to the other page and subscribe and share this information, y'all. Black Power.